presentation. I'm starting off about, it's basically just about growing up with a disability. I start off with my accomplishments. I actually graduated college. I graduated from high school and college with a business degree and from Eastern Connecticut State University. Currently I'm a bank teller for New Alliance Bank, and I worked as a tax preparer for H&R Block. And I had several internships before that, starting when I was 16. I'm also a partner in a real estate leasing company that my parents and I run. We buy single-family homes and we rehabilitate them. I'm the only one with business training, so I kind of help them out with that. But I've gone down and helped with the rehab stuff too. I'm active in politics since I was 18. Actually, before that, legally 18. Before that, just helping out. I'm a justice of the peace. I've done 2 weddings so far. I'm currently the elected secretary of the Democratic Town Committee. I've done some walkathons using a hand cycle, and I use my wheelchair once in a while too. I'm active in sports. When I was a child, I went to the Yvonne Lundell Jr. Wheelchair Sports Camp. They did tennis, amongst other things. Currently I play sled hockey in Connecticut and Massachusetts. And I also started doing wheelchair soccer this past season, helping Massachusetts. Basically, daily living, I'm talking about daily living. I live with my parents. The accessibility of the house is really good. In parties and gatherings, and basically I have my friends over there because I can get around better anywhere, anywhere else. Then I go into what it was like growing up, early childhood, just a lot of talking about New England Children's Hospital, going there, the clinics that I went to, in operations, and then I'm talk a little bit about Montessori school when I went to preschool, but I don't remember a whole lot about that. Then I talk about elementary school and elementary, middle, and high school. When I was in elementary school, I was on crutches for a while. Then I had to transition to the wheelchair because it was a lot easier. Talked about a little bit about extracurricular activities I did in middle school and high school. I was in chorus for a while. I was in band for a while, but my studies weren't so good, so I didn't think my teachers really wanted me in there. We talked about field trips going, just field trips going through school, and basically the teachers wanted me to have a parent go along, which is fine. We went to Washington D.C. once, and we talked about a lot. My presentation talks about how the problems that the school had, because school didn't figure it out that the buses were not accessible the day before. Then I talked about learning to drive. It was quite a challenge. When I was 16, I had lessons. I had taken lessons through the DMV, the handicap driver section, and after a while, after like 6 lessons, they decided I couldn't drive. But my parents couldn't handle that, or didn't, said no, and so they put in hand controls, and they got me to drive, and now I'm driving everywhere. College, and I talk about college. I went to Eastern Connecticut State University, as I said before. For the first 2 years, I commuted there. Then I went to. Then I lived on campus. And talked about daily life there. The support services were really good. Accessibility was good too, as well. And I talked about things I did there. I was active in student government. And I worked for the basketball and softball teams. And then I talked about friends. And then I also talked about, in my presentation. I talk about a trip I took, a study abroad program for 2 weeks that I did in Scotland, studying international business. Then after that, my presentation talks about transition to adult life. After college, I had worked at a major insurance company for a while. Things didn't go. I was still living at home in Colchester, and the job was at Avon. I was sick for quite a while, so I left and found something else. And then I went back to a previous summer job with the Department of Banking for a while, and then now I'm currently at New Alliance Bank. Then I talk about challenges, general problems, mobility problems, basically chronic health issues like urinary tract infections, doctor's offices, visits, and tasks of ordinary living. Talked about the healthcare that doesn't work. Basically, then I talk about building public buildings that are fully accessible, and most homes are not. And then I talk about being different, and when I was basically comparing when I was a child, where being different felt that most kids didn't want to be around me. As an adult, being different in a wheelchair, people underestimate what I can do. And then I talk about being underemployed in a wheelchair, just talking about not being with in romance. I'd like to meet somebody and get married someday, but I'm not sure how to get there. So basically, that's a quick summary of my presentation for today.
Thank you very much.
Okay.